What does unvaxxed sperm have to do with Bitcoin? Ideally nothing, but apparently something. Because people who are super anti-vax and believe insane conspiracy theories about what it does to fertility and those sorts of things also have a little bit of an overlap in the awfulness Venn diagram with radical Bitcoiners. And so let's walk through a little bit of this. There's been some great reporting on Vice about this phenomenon. Unvaxxed Sperm and the people behind it are not anti-vaccine to a degree. This is a new Bitcoin, by the way. They are completely anti-vaccine, baselessly claiming that 90% of the population has no need to take any vaccine and advocating that the pandemic can be medicated with alternative remedies like ivermectin, even though the only studies to claim the drug typically prescribed as a horse dewormer can treat COVID-19 have been retracted. There's a lot of people that now fit into that category of saying you either don't need to or shouldn't take the vaccine, instead just take a whole bunch of stuff that has nothing to do with COVID. So anyway, about a week ago, this new Bitcoin was launched called Unvaxxed Sperm. It saw explosive growth and then collapsed, leading some to believe that it might be a scam. I don't know why anyone would think that. Anyway, why did they launch this? Well, there was the Let's Go Brandon cryptocurrency, and that got people excited, so they decided why not do their own. And so anyway, why do they believe all this? They think that sperm and eggs of unvaccinated people will be worth a fortune because COVID-19 will have damaged the ability to procreate of others. And so you have the Bitcoin. This has become very common at protests too. You can see at this protest in Melbourne, actually, unvaxxed sperm is the next Bitcoin was a sign, and we're seeing this more and more, JR.
Come on, man. So I'm just, well, I guess it's a matter of time. We just have to wait and see how long it is before people realize one way or another where this has worked out. And I'm a big proponent of, I mean, if this is some kind of new money scheme to get people's cash or have them sign on to propel your business and your ability to grift, hey man, more power to you, I guess, to a point, unless there's eventually some laws around these kinds of scams that take people for their money. But the people that get taken for it, that's their money. They can throw it away all they want. I mean, if you want to go out there and stand in the cold and talk about how unvaxxed sperm is your new future, hey, have at it. Have at it. Because eventually we're gonna see the reality. And again, I've said it before, if I'm wrong about vaccinations and all this, especially this specific vaccination, we'll find out. What we still arguing for? Yeah, go out and stand in the cold and yell at people who have a different view than you do. But the reason we're yelling at folks who are unvaxxed and want to push this type of stuff is because you can harm others with it. Us sitting here vaccinated, we're not harming anyone. We don't have the possibility of infecting anyone. Now, if we do, that's because you were unvaxxed and you have an issue now.
We're arguably actively trying not to harm people. But anyway, yeah, like people are talking about this being a pump and dump. Yeah, a lot of this it's you launch it, it explodes, which means that the people who had it first make money. They sell it off, which leads more people to sell it off. So then the people who bought it last at a really high price just lose their money. All this is a transfer of money from people who are desperate to the people who started off the thing. That's what it is, and that's why. What does Let's Go Brandon or Unvaxxed Sperm have to do with any of this? It's just stupid branding to lure in a particular type of sucker. That's all it is. You like Let's Go Brandon? Well, buy this cryptocurrency that has literally nothing to do with any of that. But the important thing is that you give me your money. And that's what they're doing.
You notice none of these names of these new cryptocurrencies are United America or unite the country. All these things that they say they're about,
be nice to each other.
Yeah, because Democrats are the divisive party. So considering they're all for uniters, I'm waiting for that uniters name of cryptocurrency.
You're gonna be waiting for a while. By the way, I'm well aware of the double meaning of, in this particular case, the term that I used. I'm not happy with it, but it is also accurate. Anyway, by the way, so what are they gonna do with some of this money? Well, first of all, nothing, because it's not gonna be here in 2 weeks. But what they use to lure in the people they want to scam is, they say they're gonna donate money to anti-vax doctors or whatever. They're gonna launch a version of Tinder for purebloods. So that's taken from the Harry Potter thing to say that they, because they haven't been vaccinated, have pure blood, even though virtually every single one of those people has many vaccines in their system. And they apparently read Harry Potter without realizing or caring that the purebloods people aren't the good guys in the story.
Oh, even better that they're not the good guys.
Even better, yeah. Anyway.
And also, let's also just, maybe this is a stretch. I'm willing to admit that. But when I hear pure blood, I feel like that also gives a little reach to the white supremacist group who like to say their blood is pure because it doesn't have all those tainted other people's bloods mixed in with it. That same white supremacist thought process of, we're pure bloods. We don't want it tainted. It just triggers all the same emotions, which still, of course, gives a head nod to the certain groups of people, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, look, I'm no more unvaxxed sperm for me. But anyway, AOC recently had a comment about Bitcoin. I just wanted to briefly mention. So she was responding to a question on Instagram saying, do you invest in Bitcoin? And she said, because we have access to sensitive information and upcoming policy, I do not believe members of Congress should hold or trade individual stock, and I choose not to hold any so I can remain impartial about policy making. I also extend that to digital assets and currencies, especially because I sit on the Financial Services Committee. So the answer is no, because I want to do my job as ethically and impartially as I can, which is a great answer. It's consistent with what she's been saying for years about individual stock ownership. They should not be owning these things that they can manipulate. And so I agree with AOC there.
It's pretty straightforward.
Shocked to find out.
Yeah.
100%.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.